Hey YouTube, this is your homeboy Seth Martial Art Fitness. I am live and I want to talk to y'all about, being unemployed, um, not really working right now. Basically, I'm without a job, and the thing of it is, my thing is I'm not giving up. That's the number one lesson in life is to never to never give up on what you want to do in life, and that's the thing. Most people want to end up just giving up in life because they don't have a job, they don't they don't, they don't want to end up keep continuing looking for a job. They don't want to work anymore because nobody's hiring at the moment. They just give up on searching. And to me, I don't give up. I I stay motivated to keep searching, keep looking, and to keep focusing on trying to find something for me where I can do something of work. And number one thing is, you got to keep your mind right. You got to keep your mind right. You got to stay focused. You got to be able to keep your mind active while you're being unemployed instead of just sitting around every day doing nothing. Yeah, you may not have no money to do something, but you can train your mind, you can train your body. Uh, you can do all sorts of things that you want to do in life, even when you're not employed at the moment. And and that's the thing, when you're unemployed, yes, it does set back a lot of things you cannot do. And to me, you know, I had my ups and downs, with every job that I've had in the past year or two, and um, I basically haven't given up on searching for a job. And it's just, I look at it this way: God took made it where that job was not meant for me, and He had His reasons why that job didn't work out for me. And so when that tells you something, when that tells you something, basically when when you feel like you hit rock bottom and uh, or you're depressed or whatever it may be, is learn to have um, motivation, to get out of that depression, to get out of that state of mind. Um, you got to have something worth fight for. You got your friends that are rooting for you. You got your family that are rooting for you. Um, you know, that's all you need. Is your friends, your family. If you're in a relationship, your spouse. Whatever it may be. They always have your back, and that's the thing. When most people will give up on day one, and to me, that people just give up on day one, on searching for jobs or whatever it may be, and they say, they can't find nothing that they want to do. Me, it's like I filled out over 100 applications the past 2 weeks. I haven't found nothing. I had one call, one interview the other day. I go for another interview on tomorrow at 4:15, and I still haven't found nothing yet. But I haven't given up because what it is, my heart is telling me not to give up. That's right. My heart is telling me not to give up because I have that eye of the tiger momentum in me. It's not to give up on anything, not even life itself. And and that's the thing. A lot of people when they don't have a job, they think, oh, suicide, or they get really depressed because they're not working. Um, and that's the thing. And to me, for all those people that do do feel that way, seek help. Seek help right away because if you're going down that stage where you're thinking about suicide, being depressed, and everything, when you're not working, go for help. That's the best thing to do. And to me, I'm not thinking of any of that, but it's just a lot of people do when they go down that road when they end up not having a job. Oh, they just think, oh, my life sucks. To me, I just basically want to say, you know, your life doesn't suck. Your life will get better. Your life will get better even though you don't have a job. Your life will get better when you don't have a job because in time, God will point you the right way to where He will lead you to a job that He wants you to do. And um, that's the thing. And a lot of people, it's like I said, they'll just give up on day one. They'll just give up on day one after searching for jobs online. And to me, anymore, everything is going online nowadays. I remember when I was a kid trying to find a job. They back then in '95 or back then in after 2005, they was all paper applications. But now, since we have internet, everybody's going online, filling out applications, left and right, trying to find a job, you know, yeah, doing things online can be very stressful if you don't know what you're doing. And to me, it's like I'm learning every day on new things, on new things online on how to do things to improve with today's time. And the time has changed over the years of 37 years that I've been alive, and uh, things have evolved over the last 37 years of my lifetime, and I've seen so much in my lifetime, and that's the thing. You gotta stay motivated. You gotta get your mind right. You gotta be able to have motivation to keep going and keep moving forward. Not to live in the past on your mistakes. You can learn from the lessons that you have done, but don't live in the past on your past mistakes. Because to me, if you live in the past on your past mistakes all the time, you're staying in the past. Saying, man, I wish I never got fired from that job. you wish you never got fired from that job that you really liked, or you wish, I could have done this better, or you wish, this and that. Well, only reason why things happen was because of your actions. And when you do things because of your actions, you end up you end up pretty much basically, learn from your mistakes. Just learn from it. And just move forward, just keep moving forward, keep searching, never give up. That's the best advice I can give anybody that's out there that don't have a job. And they want work, but yet they can't find no work. Um, is to not give up. Something will come eventually. And that's the thing, when you're not working, you know, get up and exercise. Get up and do something. Like if your house is a mess, get up and clean it. Uh, to get your mind off things. Uh, if you are working out, go to a gym and work out, lift weights, do whatever it is to keep your mind active while you're not working. And that's the best medicine anybody ever has to get out there. And sorry, my dog's barking in the background, but it's just the fact that a lot of times, life can be so hard, and it can never be easy. But everybody has challenges in everyday life, and no matter what the challenges may be in life, you got to push through those challenges, and that's what makes you strong, because you are pushing through those challenges of everyday life. And that's the thing. A lot of people don't want to push through anything. And to me, I just want to say this, for all those people that want to give up, is to never give up. There is always hope. There is always hope no matter what. And eventually you'll find something. And it's just the fact that when you're not working or anything like that, you just basically got to keep searching, got to keep moving forward, learn from your lessons that you have done in the past at every job that you have. And it's like this. When you don't work, you do tendency to sit around, get a lot of things on your mind. You do stress out because you're wondering how you're going to pay your bills, and how you're going to stay ahead of things, and the best medicine is to really not to worry that much, because if you worry too much, you will get sick, you will get depressed, and that's the thing. And trust me, last week, I was after Taco Bell closed down, I worked there about a week, and I really loved the job. And I loved the people there. Everybody got along with me. I got along with them. And that was like the best job I've ever had. And uh, managers were cool. And all of a sudden, like, I went into work that day, and my manager told me, he was like, "We're shutting down. we're laying a lot of people off, we're shutting down, and I was like, well, shoot, what do I do now? And every job that I've lost, every job that you know, it's just a stepping stone to make me stronger, and that's all it is. And a lot of people, when they don't have a job, they go down a different road, and that's the thing when because they can't really find anything, and then they get in trouble and stuff like that, and so it's like when you go down that road where you don't want to be at, you gotta get yourself out of that road where to be on the right road where you want to be at in life. Because the way I look at it, things happen for a reason. And when things happen for a reason, you cannot control that reason when it happens. Because my state is at Missouri is at a law state where they can fire anybody at any given time. They don't have to really give a reason. And every job that I've been at, they never really gave me a reason why they fired me. And other than one job I worked at, that's when I worked at the factory. They gave me a reason why they fired me. And but all my other jobs that I've worked at, they never really gave me a reason why they fired me. But a lot of my other jobs I worked at, it was because I quit because I either one moved around a lot when I was younger. I couldn't really stay in one spot for so long in the situation where I was living at the time, and I had to move around a lot to get where I am at today. Even though I'm not working right now, I'm still motivating myself to get a job, to keep searching for one, and just trying to stay positive, trying to stay motivated, trying to uh, push myself to do great. I may not uh, be that uh, perfect, but I look at it this way: nobody's perfect. Uh, only one person is. God is. God is always perfect. He always points me to each direction in life. Through each obstacles, and the way my physical body is with my back, my feet. I had scoliosis when I was a kid. Uh, 2 times. I had 2 back surgeries. I had 2 club feet, and doctors told me I would never ever walk again. So it's like when they would tell me that, I overcome it, and I just got up and started walking. And no matter how much pain I was going through all the operations that I went through when I was younger, it taught me a life lesson: is not to give up at anything, and to always be strong and have motivation to continue on what you are doing in life. Because when you have that motivation and strive, you gotta have that heart. You gotta have, whatever it is to push yourself through to push yourself through that way of thinking and, keep pushing forward and, keep moving forward and not stay in one spot. And, and to me, and to me, you know, if a job doesn't find your worth, you know, if you're working at a job or something like that, they don't find your worth, and and you keep asking them, to do this for you, and I have done that at every job I worked at, and there was one job, I kept asking, hey, I want to become manager, I want to do this, I want to do that, and uh, well, the last the job before I worked at Taco Bell. Well, I was talking to one of my old friends from my other job that I worked at, where I was manager at the time, and me and him were talking last night about everything, and you know, he was a good friend of mine there. Me and him still talk to this day, even though I'm not there anymore, and uh, he helped me out last night, and I kept on thinking that, no, why did I get fired at that job? And I found out that the hiring manager there, the one that hired me, wanted me to come on and work in there. That he told me that he didn't like me, and that's when I realized that when a hiring manager doesn't like you, he ain't gonna give you a chance, and he's gonna try everything he can to get you fired. He's gonna, do whatever it is that he's just gonna test your limits. Well, well, one day I just had enough of it, and I just basically, I mean, I didn't really had enough of it, but I was trying to figure out, why is he so rude to me? Why is that person so rude to me? Or why is this happening to me? Why, I was trying to figure out every situation that he came up to me on about, and I was always honest everything that I did wrong to him on every task that he put me through at the job that I worked at in that department. And and then and then it was just like one morning he calls me in the office and says, Seth, you're fired. I'm like, why? And well, I was sick one day and I had a doctor's note, and only reason why he fired me was it's because he said that, oh, it wasn't cutting out for me. That was the only excuse that he gave me. He didn't give me no reason. He didn't give me nothing to fall back on. And and that's the thing. And and plus, um, he kept telling me, if you can't do this department, there's other departments you could go into. And I told him, I said, I really want to do this. I said, but I really want to be in grocery department. And so he just kept on telling me this and that, and he just kept on lying to me, and I kept on uh, catching him in every lie. He treated me like crap every day, and I was just doing my job, doing my work, clocking in, doing whatever he told me to do, trying my best at what he told me to do. And if I made a mistake, I was always honest. And that he it on my that job there. It only lasted 3 weeks, but it's like he didn't give me a chance, and that's when I knew right then and there that when after I kept telling him the past 2 weeks that you're not really giving me a chance. You're treating me out left and right on things that's not even in my department, and uh, and all it was because I was sticking up for myself. And when I was sticking up for myself, and that he knew that I wasn't going to be an ass kisser, and and that's the thing. A lot of managers sometimes they want employers to be an ass kisser, and to me, employers shouldn't have to be an ass kisser. If just to please a manager at a job. As long as the person is doing their job, doing what they are told to do, uh, if they made a mistake, if they're honest on it, they should respect that person is honest. They'll try to do better next time. And it's just the fact that a lot of people tendency to not have a backbone, to stick up for themselves at a job, and they'll take it so many days out of the week. Well, and you get backed up into a corner, then it's like, okay, I had enough. I'm finally sticking up for myself. I've been here long enough where I can actually say something and stick up for myself. And it's like every other manager would tell me, just learn to stick up for yourself. And when I do, and it's just like that's when I get in trouble because I'm sticking up for my beliefs as a human being. You know, as a person, is to not get treated like a child at a freaking job when I'm trying to do my best, trying to do 100%, go beyond 100% at every job I worked at. And it's just that a lot of times I just told myself enough is enough. When you get backed into that corner, when you don't have no way out of a situation, and you went through all your P's and Q's, you went through the higher ups, you went to other people about it at your job, and stuff like that, and they're the ones that tell you to stick up to that person, and to defend yourself, and then when you do, then you're the one that gets canned for listening to everybody else's decisions on what they tell you. And to me, that's not right. It ain't right. And every employer should be able to stick up for themselves if they feel like they've done nothing wrong. That's right. Every employer should stick up for themselves if they've done nothing wrong. And if they did something wrong, and if they're honest, if that manager is still yelling at them, if that person is owning up to that person in front of them on their mistake, I'm telling you, that person should not even get fired or in trouble. But it's like this, no matter what the outcome is, no matter what, you know, things happen for a reason. You can't control it. When things happen for a reason, you can't control the outcome when it does happen. But you just got to learn to get back on your feet. No matter how hard life hits you, and no matter how hard life hits you, you must strive to keep pushing forward and go on to your next journey on finding another job and go on to your next journey on to do better, learn your lesson. And but a lot of times, I had one good job that I worked at, and I was a stalker, and um, I basically loved that job because I worked nights, overnights as a stalker, stocking groceries. I wasn't around nobody. I mean, I was around other co-workers that night that was helping us stocking the truck, and it was overnight stocking. And and that's the thing. But I didn't get fired from that job. I put my 2 weeks notice in there because I ended up moving in. And the sad part of it is the manager that hired me on as an overnight stalker, he was actually crying because I was leaving. I was moving away from the area where I was at. And he didn't want me to move. And I told him, I said it was just because of the situation I was in at the time, and I just had to tell him I had to leave and and stuff. And I told him I really loved the job, and he told me that if I ever needed anything, and he told me if I ever want to get the job back, he would put in a good word for me. And um, and he told me this, and his name is Billy Klein, and he was a good man. He was a good worker. He was the best manager I ever worked with, and he made it fun while I was working there. He was a jokester, really good friend of mine, and and we just talked about everything. And uh, he told me, he was crying because he had a tear in his eye and some tears in his eyes, and right in front of me. And I never seen a grown man cry before. And and he said that you're one of my best friends. He said you're a strong coworker, and he gave me a hug and everything. I gave him a hug back, and he told me this. He said, Seth, that game show Who's the Weakest Link? And he said this. He said, you're not the weakest link. You're the strongest link of the team. And he says, I've seen you on video. You're carrying like 3 or 4 boxes at a time, to every aisle off the U-boat. And he says, you get shit done. And he said, that's what I love about you. He says, you get shit done. And you don't mess around. And that's how I was at every job. And is that I never messed around. I always did my work. I always did what I was told. It's just when there are situations that came up, you know, with companies. They would do like a speech of some kind, and they'll say, "Oh, they'll do this for the company. They're going to start doing that for the company," and I would just sit there thinking, "Yeah, right. They ain't gonna do that. They ain't gonna do this for us." And I would catch him in so many lies, and there would be times like when COVID first came out when I worked at the factory, and they started to lay people. They started to take hours away from people, and there was like 20 people they took hours away from, and I was one of them. And uh, they kept on saying, "Oh, it was because of COVID." They were saying it was because of the election, and I yelled at I yelled out loud, "Bullshit!" And everybody just kind of looked at me. "Why are you saying bullshit?" And I said, "I know the true reason why you guys are laying people, cutting hours back. Not laying people off, but cutting hours back." And at the time, that's when COVID hit. And and because their products were coming from China, and and China was shipping our products to Taiwan, and then Taiwan couldn't deliver the products to us at the time. And I spoke up and said, uh, they held me back after the meeting, and they said, why did you say bullshit?" And I said, "I know the reason why." And I said, "It's because COVID first came out." And that's when how I knew the reason why COVID 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 was cutting a lot of people's hours back, because they weren't getting no work in for everybody there at the factory. And I was just like, and then I just saw through their lies. And it was these two women that were doing the speech, giving the speech out, saying, "We're not getting work in because of the election, because of the presidency election." And they was trying to lie everything about it. And I was just like, you know what? That ain't true. You know, I spoke for everybody else at that workplace that were getting their hours cut back. And so I told them the reason why was because of COVID. And they're like, "How'd you know?" And I said, when COVID first came out, I seen everybody talking about it online. I seen everybody, making videos about it. They call it the Chinese COVID, because they're the ones that made COVID spread out all around the world. It was an antivirus from chemicals that got out of a lab, and um, and that's the thing. I'm not dissing the Chinese or nothing. We're doing that, but they should have had more control over it instead of just letting it happen. Otherwise, everybody around the world wouldn't be in this stage due to COVID or anything like that. They wouldn't get the virus or anything like that. But I've got both shots. But the thing of it is, my grandpa died like 3 years ago due to COVID, and he had the shots and everything. And to me, they say, "Oh, take the shots. Take the shots. It'll help you." Well, it may help you in some ways, but in reality, when you have COVID, it's basically the lungs. It's basically your lungs. It's like asthma. when you have it. That's the way people describe it to me. It's like a thing, uh, real bad bronchitis, and it attacks the lungs. And because when I worked at the factory, maintenance man, he had it. Me and him were really good friends. I asked him about it on what it's like. He said it's just like bronchitis. It attacks the lungs, and he said it's just a real bad case of flu. And so when he told me that, that's when I knew. I asked him. I said, "Did you get the shots?" He said, "Yes." And I said, "See, even when you still get the shots, you still can get the virus no matter what." And everybody at the factory was telling me, "Get the shots, get the shots, get the shots." And my grandpa was telling me at the time, saying, "Get the shots." To me, honestly, I wish I never even got the shots because uh, it don't help. And because I got proof of it. Because my grandpa's not no longer here anymore. And but no matter what life brings us, it no matter what life brings us, it things happen for a reason. And thing you know things happen for a reason. You can't control it. Um, you can't control it or anything. And a lot of people would say, "Oh, you're just wanting people to feel sorry for you." Well, man, I don't care if people feel sorry for me or not. I don't even care if people like me or not. But if they do like me, hey, that's a plus. I got their friendship, and uh, I got I got acquaintance with them and got their trust and became really good friends with people. And if they're no longer in my life anymore, then that's on them. That's not on me. That's their choice because they because the universe works in mysterious ways, and when things happen for a reason, it's because the universe um, is guiding you into a different direction and into a new atmosphere uh, where you want to be at in life. Because it's kind of like stars in the sky. There are thousand stars in the sky, but each star of the sky leads to a chapter of your life. And out of every star of a chapter of your life, every star out of this chapter that's in the sky leads to every part of your life. It's kind of like connecting the dots. When you used to do that book, Connect the Dots when you was little. Well, it's kind of like that. One dot leads to another dot, a chapter of your life, of each journey you go through. And uh, when things go bad for you, it is just because things happen for a reason. You can't control it. Um, you just gotta go with the flow of things, not stress out over it that much, and just try to do better next time and learn from your lessons. And but most of all, stick up for yourself, be yourself, respect others, and um, show kindness. Kindness comes a long way. Um, but other than that, um, but most of all is to be yourself, stay motivated, even when you're not employed, and always strive to do better than what you did yesterday. And that's the thing. And I know I made this video 45 seconds. I hadn't done a live video in a long time. It's probably been like, I want to say 2 years since I've actually done a live video. Uh, but, no matter what, uh, no matter what, uh, it's not to give up. Yeah, any obstacle that God puts you through, uh, He's challenging your strength. He's challenging your purpose in life. May it be a motivation speaker, maybe a YouTube entrepreneur, maybe um, a fitness coach, maybe weightlifting coach, whatever, or a calisthenics coach, or martial arts coach. Um, Basically, just learn to be yourself on who you are, what you're about, but most of all, it's to love yourself and respect yourself. Tell yourself that you are great. Tell yourself that you are the champion at life. You may not be the champion of the ring, like in boxing or in the cage or anything like that. When you are not working, tell yourself that you are never going to give up. You got to tell yourself that every day you're going to find something. And you got to have that eye of the tiger momentum. Like in Rocky 3, when Apollo tells Rocky to, you got to have that eye of the tiger. And it's like when Rocky was getting in that phase where he didn't feel like training, he would always say, tomorrow. And Apollo Creed says, there is no tomorrow. You got to do this now. And when he said that to Rocky, he says that you got to do this now when there is no tomorrow. Well, you got to keep searching. You got to do this now. That's right. You got to keep searching and motivate yourself to do this now. Seth martial art, fitness. I know I didn't have maybe one person going in and out of the room. Whoever that person was, I was kind of kept watching off and on. I want to say thank you for trying to come into my channel and watch my video. I'm going to try to do live workouts if I can. Eventually down the road, I might do like a home live workout, because where I go at the gym, I can't really do a workout down there because I don't have internet. But just learn not to give up at life when you're not working, and stay active. Do whatever you can to motivate yourself every day, and that's the best choice I can give you. Best advice. It's most of all, when you feel like you hit rock bottom, and you have, is if you're going through depression or if you're thinking about suicide, the best thing to do is get help, and that's all I'm saying. And I never want nobody to kill themselves. I never want nobody to be depressed. Yes, depression is the worst disease out there. And some people just can't get out of it because they're so depressed. And that's the thing. And when people are so depressed, they can't get out of that stage. And best thing to do is seek help. And try to get out of that depression state. And And that's the best thing to do is to seek help, to get advice from your friends, to get, whatever, you could do to reach out to people and stuff like that, to get your mind off things. And so there you have it. Keep pushing forward. Quit living in the past. Quit, and just keep moving forward and be strong and basically, try to be the better you than what you were yesterday. Seth Martial Art Fitness. Please hit the like. Please hit the subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next live video whenever I get a chance to. And like I said, motivate yourself every day to do better than what you have yesterday. Peace.